Look at these ceilings on wherever Harp is.
Oh,
that's
Roman
old
Harper.
school architect right there.
Roman Harper is high-end, high class. And
he's got the Harper Last Supper behind him.
He's with us now on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline of the SEC Network. Alabama great, NFL great, Roman Harper. What is up, Harp? How are you?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Doing awesome, man. Thanks a lot. That is a very unique piece of art behind you. I like that. What is it?
Yeah, this is we had this piece made. It is the Harper family Last Supper. We do got to get a new one though. A couple things have changed in the world.
Where are you in that picture?
All right, here we go. Here we go. I'll just sit here close. Right. Let me just let's give the people what they want.
All right, let's give the people what they want. Yeah.
All right. How do I flip this thing? There we go. All right. So this is my family.
I see you. Yeah.
All right. This is me, my daughter Sydney, my oldest London. That was Roman at the time, his baby. London, that was my wife.
Hey, Roman is attacking the red velvet cheesecake, which I'm a big fan of.
No doubt. And that, of course, that's Jesus.
Okay.
We got Martin Luther King. You guys know who that is.
Michael Jackson, yeah. King of pop.
Barack Obama in the brown suit. Funny. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Bill Gates, who in the updated version, he might not make the cut.
I was going to say, how did Bill Gates slide in?
This is before the island. This was before the island broke. Okay, we've had this a while. Kobe Bryant, who I don't know why they artists put him in that. He looks like Bill Cosby. That's Kobe Bryant and Beyonce.
Was that included in the meal either?
Yeah, I mean, it's a terrible sweater. Kobe Bryant would never wear that.
Terrible. Would never wear that sweater. We're so angry about it. So my wife's like, when we redo it, because we got to redo it because now we have we got a fourth child. So Soul Brother needs to be on here. Our baby boy Soul.
Harp,
we have to update it.
Is Jesus the only one drinking at the table? No.
I think he's the only one with it.
No. MLK's got a drink.
He's got
a cocktail.
Yeah, he's got a cocktail.
I think we do need more. Yeah, we need more drinks too.
So you're gonna have a second Last Supper.
Yeah, Last Supper number 2. No, I like that painting. That is fantastic. My initial fear, just as we were looking at it, was that Roman was Jesus. So thankfully, no. So I was like, we're a little sacrilegious there. So thankfully, Jesus is actually Jesus in the painting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's only Auburn quarterbacks, right?
That's hilarious.
The TJ Finley
post.
I
appreciate it, man. Yeah, it was funny. My wife and I had this idea. It was really cool though because we were like, all right, who are our people? Who are we gonna put on? So of course, our own family. We wanted to make sure it was people that we did not know because the moment you do that, you start putting family or brother, friends. Then somebody's like, well, why didn't you put me? So it was everybody that we did not know personally. But that we were maybe fans of. And so first person, I'm like, who are we going to have, at the Last Supper? I'm like, Martin Luther King. Like, okay. Barack Obama. Heather was like, Beyonce. I was like, oh, got to get Kobe. I'm like, okay, boom. So now we're just filling in and we look up. I'm like, babe, we got to have some diversity. We need some white people at the table, babe. So she was like,
so Michael Jackson was in.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, you're in.
Yes.
RBG, come on over here, girl. You're in. And I was like, dude, we need some Bill Gates bankrolling. Give me Bill Gates. And now, come to find out, Bill Gates is probably going to be the one out on the new Last Supper. And we'll replace him with Soul. So much better company, I guess, overall.
Harper, 17 years ago this week, you were drafted in the second round by the New Orleans Saints. Hard to believe, not to date you. You've had the gray hair that long. But talking about this draft process, I mean, this draft is going to be fascinating because you just look at the quarterbacks at the top and so much SEC flavor. Bryce Young, and look, and I know you're a Saint at heart. That's the team that took you, won a Super Bowl there. You also played in a Super Bowl for the Carolina Panthers, so I know you still have a lot of respect for that organization as well. They more than likely will take Bryce at the top. But after that, you've got guys like Will Levis that could possibly go number 2. Anthony Richardson, a lot of people think he will go in the top 5 now. Just give me your opinion of those 2 quarterbacks. I know what you think about Bryce Young, but Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, do they really have potential to be franchise quarterbacks in this league?
All right. So I really – these are the 2 guys that I'm really nervous about, honestly, because Anthony Richardson, I watched him play, and I know these quarterbacks really well. I watched every snap of them last year covering the SEC, so it's not just throwing this out of anywhere, just making it up out of air. they both have so much upside. Anthony Richardson even more upside, and he's 2 years younger. So if you're going on purely just upside, would you not take Anthony Richardson as well, who's faster, probably the same type of arm? But when I watch Will Levis play, man, Will Levis can make throws that like nobody else makes. And he does it effortlessly in some of the windows and some of the throws he makes. But in some of those same throws and some of these same windows, you're like, why are you throwing that ball? That is such a bad decision. And so his arm sometimes gets him in trouble. And I know everybody says the offensive line and it was, man, he just turns the football over so much at times. And I don't like that about him. It reminds me of Sam Darnold, where when I looked at Sam Darnold coming out, I said, you know what? I know he turned the ball over a lot in college the last year or so, but he'll get in the NFL, he'll clean it up because he's got so much talent. And man, and that's why it's so important. And not saying Sam Darnold still isn't super talented. I watched him here in Carolina last year. He's uberly talented. But if you don't go in the right situation early, you don't have the right amount of success for the right people around you to kind of teach you and help you learn the game and be successful. Man, it's just so hard to be burned out. They'll throw you out. Next thing you know, you're on the waiver wire. You're bouncing around. You don't have your feet underneath you. If things just don't go right, that's my biggest concern with Will Levis going to number 2 overall is, will the system fit him and will it be the right situation for him to be successful? Or will they force him into playing early? He doesn't play well, and now he's just a burnout and considered another quarterback bust that goes way too early in the first round. Anthony Richardson, if he goes in the top 5 where everybody's saying he's going to go, which, I mean, if you're going to take a flyer on any type of quarterback, I mean, he's a really good flyer to take it on just because he has the arm strength. He looks like a creative player on Madden, and he can throw the ball a mile. He's faster than most players on the field at all times. He's just got to be able to learn how to continue to read defenses, see and play with if he can play the game, the quarterback game, which is reading it, understanding it, as fast as he runs when he's playing the game, then you're going to have a really, really special player. And the way offenses are built, and everybody's going to try and compare him to, all these other quarterbacks. And I think he is a little bit more unique because you can't compare him to Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts balled throwing the football in college multiple years. And so it's just not that same. I know, Jalen Hurts can continue to learn and develop, but they're just not the same to me. And it's just really hard to even give you a comp on when I watch Anthony Richardson because his ceiling is way above everybody else's. Look, man, I got a nice house and I only got 10-foot ceilings on the first floor. He's like 15, 20-foot ceilings, like all over the place. He's high ceiling. But man, I just don't know if he's ever going to achieve those because he is exactly the worst compliment that a lot of people use in given sports. And I don't like using it, but he's got so much potential.
Roman Harper is with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Bryce Young has been undersized his whole life, Harp. I mean, this is nothing new for him. But he doesn't get a whole lot of passes batted down. Like I asked earlier, how many do you remember seeing him get batted down at Alabama? It's not a lot. Does that translate to the NFL? Like if I could say, well, he went through his 2 years of an SEC quarterback, got almost nothing batted down. If I'm an NFL team, do I say, okay, then I don't really worry about that?
Yeah, I mean, people are going to bring up his size because it's talking season. And of course you worry about it, but he knows how to throw through windows. If you watched him play quarterback, he throws passes and completes passes over the line of scrimmage all the time. He's not throwing it out wide where, it's less hands up and throwing it one-on-one on the outside all the time. No, he's completing a lot of passes over the middle in tight windows and tight spaces. So not only is he throwing it through windows, but he's also completing it in tight windows and very, very accurately thrower and with great anticipation, which is a lot of qualities that you see and that you want in really good quarterbacks. He has those. Look, if he was above 6 foot, everybody would be raving about this young man. And people are still raving about him, but he just has one big knock. And when I watch all these quarterbacks in this year's draft, at least the ones that everybody's considering in the top 5 or top 6, everybody's these are the things that people are looking for. And I'm looking forward to because I have a knock or or something on every single one of these quarterbacks.
Well, I'm excited about it just because of the unpredictability of what's going to happen tomorrow night.
Exactly.
But I wanted to ask you, Harp, about, going back 16 years ago or 17 years ago when you were drafted. Did you kind of know that you were going to New Orleans? I know you probably thought that they had an interest in you, but did you think you might have been going earlier to somebody else or a little later to somebody else? And how does that whole process work?
All right, so the process is crazy. I mean, I can only speak on my process, and it really wasn't crazy. It was actually very vanilla and quite dull. I didn't know where I was going to go. The only team that actually, because you have these like top 30, everybody has these visits and stuff. So I got no visits. So in my mind, I'm like, dude, I don't even think anybody wants me because I don't have any visits set up. And then after that, I'm serious. And then the only team that actually came to see me was Carolina Panthers, their safeties coach. And so I show up to the grass like my cleats on, ready to go. Like I'm gonna show these dudes like I can ball or I can move. And he was like, had me do like one back pedal. And he was like, okay, I don't care. Like, I just wanted to meet you. It's like the fact that you came out here just like excited to go. He's like, I love you as a player. I just don't think you're going to be, I hope you're around when we actually going to think about drafting the safety. That's the third round. I'm like, dude, call me, bro. I'm going to be there. Like, I'm ready. And so, cause I didn't know where I was going to go. And so after the whole process, the combine, pretty much all the haze in the barn, I asked my agent. He was like, "Look, he was like, Roman, I got grades on you from any team from whether it's the second round all the way to the fifth round, based upon your needs, the team's needs, and where they got you at." So I was like, "So I'm not worried about going in the first round." So the night before, I partied my ass off in Tuscaloosa. I wake up right around as the first round's about to start because I hadn't partied in like months because I wanted to put everything I had into the draft and really be focused and dedicated. So I did that. And then the night before, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm in Tuscaloosa with all my own family and my boys. So let's go. And so I wake up Saturday morning because that was when the first three rounds were all on day one.
I got to ask you, was Saturday morning of draft day a Sergeant Spoon moment?
My wife's right here, but so then you wake up. I wake up. The first round's just now about to start, and you guys got me off my game. Yeah. And so then I drive an hour and 20 minutes home, and so the first rounds are just now about to start ending. So I was I get home and I didn't really want to party or anything with my family, because I didn't know. I didn't want to invite a lot of people over and make it like a big deal because some people had me going like later than the third round. So I had to be aware of those things. And so I was probably home like 30 minutes or so. And my mom said, somebody called the house and he said they asked for me. And I was like, who's called my parents' house for me? And it was Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis. And so they told me they were going to draft me. I just gave them a whole bunch of yes, sirs, nodded my head, kept it real cool, calm, because I didn't want to get too excited because you heard those stories where they say they're going to draft you and then they don't. So I was aware of that, and so I didn't say anything. I just got off the phone, and my mom, and they were like, "Well, who's that?" I was like, "Nobody." It was just, they asked me some questions about some interview stuff. I was like, "Oh, okay." So, and then their name scrolls across, and then everybody gets to celebrate, and it's like a party. And so people came over. It was really cool, man. Just looking back, but I had no idea the Saints wanted me. I talked to them at the combine, and the only reason I even remembered them is because my coach, when I got to New Orleans, told me that. They looked at my weight. They were like, he doesn't weigh a lot. He's like less than 190. He's like 195, but man, he plays physical. And then he said he just looked across from me because it's really weird, guys. It's like I'm sitting here on the other cross of the table, and you're like a dark room, and the lights are on you, so it's like interrogation mode. Like people don't understand the combine. It's kind of interrogation mode. You come into these 15-minute interviews, and they're just like they got a grease board behind you just in case they want to get you to get on the board. Nobody asked me to get on the board, really. Maybe a couple teams. And with the Saints, they said my coach was just like on the other side of me. He didn't even ask me a question. He said he just remembers looking at me. He's like, but this dude's neck is like large. Like this dude's got a huge neck.
What is the neck? Is it a 19? I was going to ask you because the average neck is probably a 16.
Oh, well, at the time I was definitely like 18 something, almost 19. So I'm probably 17 and I'm a little bit less than 18 now.
Oh. I think I'm 16 and a half.
The biggest neck I've ever seen is Takeo Spikes, though.
Oh, my gosh.
No doubt. I would love to get a competition, me and Takio, to do a neck measurement contest. But I need like at least a month and a half in advance because I'm gonna get that neck, all the neck exercises. I'm gonna get back right. A lot of shrugs, a lot of like different shoulder work to get this thing back going. At least I give him a run for his money.
I mean, Takio goes shoulders to ears. I mean, it goes straight shoulders to ears for him.
Yeah, doesn't even need a neck roll.
No,
doesn't. He's got the original neck roll, just like right here.
The one God gave him.
So, hey, what's your plan today on this April afternoon?
So I'm about to go work out, and then I'm going to go get a haircut. I fly out to Kansas City tonight to cover the draft. I'm doing my podcast with Peanut Tillman up there through the NFL called the NFL Players Second Acts Podcast. So we interview former NFL players about their second act, what all they're doing now. Me and Peanut are doing different things. And so we get to go around and ask former players, and the NFL helps us, I guess the term is solicit or get other players to do interviews with us. And so we got everybody that would be at the draft, that some of the former players, more retired players and things like that, or even guys that are doing other things currently as well. So we'll be doing that for Thursday and Friday. I fly back Saturday. I actually will be announcing the Saints picks on the day 2 picks. Right now they're scheduled for 2 of them, maybe 3 picks. I don't even know if I'm that committed to stay for all 3 picks, but it'll be cool to do that as well.
Are you going to play it up? You going to go big?
I think I'm just I talked to my boy Usama Young. He works for the NFL, and I was like, I don't even know what to wear. Like what? Because last time I did a pick, I had this one like green jacket, but on TV it shows like it looks just like the Saints colors. So it's like kind of fire, but I already did that already, so I don't really want to do that. Maybe I'll bring it just in case, but I think I'm just gonna wear my Saints Hall of Fame jacket.
Okay,
that's a baller move.
That
right
is
there,
a baller move. I do want to bring up. I'm sure you like Italian food. Most people do, right?
Yes.
There's a place called Garazzo's, and it's in the Little Italy district of Kansas City. I was there last summer, and it's fantastic.
Yes, I need somewhere to go to eat because I don't know anything in Kansas City. I've never been. I don't know.
I'll text you. I got a couple of places. I was there 2 nights. Garazzo's is incredible.
Okay, all right. Text them to me. I'll get it hooked up because they can always help us out do those things too.
Harp, always fun, man. Thank you for the time.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys. Loving my wife's beautiful art
That's
here.
awesome.
It's amazing. I don't know. Everybody's moved on to better places since then too. So thank you guys. Appreciate
all right, buddy.
it.
Take care. Safe travels. Roman Harper with us, SEC Network, at Harp41 on Twitter, at Harp_41 on Instagram.